Okay, let's look at example number 2. We have 2x to the fourth plus 128x. So first, remember, factor out our greatest common factor. That looks like a 2x, which gives us x cubed plus 64. Okay, this is a cube. We have an x cube, so we need to go back to our cubes and see if 64 is something cubed. It is. 64 is 4 cubed. So we have a is x and b is 4. So we have a 2x, and the x cubed plus 64 is a, which is x, plus, remember signs are the same in the first parentheses, plus 4 times a squared, so x squared, minus, because the signs are opposite in this one, a times b, so that's x times 4, which is 4x, plus b squared, which is 4 squared, or 16. And we're done. That's as far as that factors. Okay, let's jump over here and try number 5. So first, we need to see if we have a GCF. We do. It's the x, which leaves us 3x squared plus 7x minus 20. So the 3x squared plus 7x minus 20, we factor with that AC method from section 6.3. So A is 3, B is positive 7, and C is negative 20. So A times C is 3 times negative 20, or negative 60. So we need everything that can multiply to give us negative 60. And unfortunately, this is going to be a long list. So we have 1 and negative 60, negative 1 and positive 60, 2 and negative 30, negative 2 and positive 30, 3 and negative 20, negative 3 and positive 20, 4 and negative 15, negative 4 and positive 15, 5 and negative 12, negative 5, positive 12. Let's see, 6 and negative 10, negative 6 and positive 10. 7 doesn't, 8 doesn't, 9 doesn't, and when we get to 10, we're looping back around. So, which one of all those factors adds up to give us positive 7? 1 and negative 60 is negative 59, so no. Negative 1 and positive 60 is positive 59, so no. 2 and negative 30 is negative 28. Negative 2 and 30 is positive 28. 3 and negative 20 is negative 17. Negative 3 and positive 20 is positive 17. Remember, we're looking for a positive 7. So 4 and negative 15 is negative 11. That's not it. Negative 4 and 15 is positive 11. 5 and negative 12 is negative 7. Oh, we're close. We need a positive 7, so it must be we have to flip the signs. So we have a -5, and a +12. So remember, we're going to bust the b term. So we have 3x squared minus 5x plus 12x minus 20. And we're going to group the first two terms and group the second two terms. So from the first two terms, we can factor out an x, and that leaves us with a 3x minus 5. From the second two terms, we can factor out a 4, which leaves us with a 3x minus 5. That's excellent because we have two 3x minus 5s now. So we still have the x hanging around out front times a 3x minus 5, which leaves us an x from the first term and a 4 from the second term. And remember, you can multiply that back out to check that you did it correctly, because we should come up with what we started with. All right, moving on to number 3. Let's see. We don't have a GCF, but we do have 3 terms. So let's see if it's one of the special ones. So 81 is 9 squared, so our A term would be 9y, because if we square that whole thing, we get 81y squared. Let's check if the third term is a square. Well, 4 is 2 squared, so our B is 2. Now we have to check the middle term. Since it's positive, is that middle term 2 times A times B? Well, let's see. We have 2. A is 9y, and B is also a 2. So that gives us 2 times 9y is 18y. 18y times 2 is 36y. So this is one of those that's a perfect square trinomial. So it factors into A plus B quantity squared. So in other words, (81y squared plus 36y plus 4 factors into 9y plus 2 squared. And if we wanted to check this one, just because sometimes these are tricky, 9y plus 2 quantity squared. Remember, squaring something means multiply it by itself. And then all we need to do is FOIL. So we have 9y times 9y is 81y squared. 9y times 2 is 18y. 2 times 9y is plus another 18y. And 2 times 2 is plus 4. And if we combine our like terms, we get 81y squared plus 36y plus 4, which is what we started with. Good. Okay, what about this last one? Well, we have an x to the 4th plus 5x squared minus 36. Well, that's a trinomial. and the leading coefficient is 1. So I think we should treat this like one of those that looks like x squared plus bx plus c. And I know that sounds weird because we don't have an x squared, we have an x to the 4th. But remember, we talked about this in one of the previous sections, that x squared whole thing squared is x to the 4th. So that's essentially what we're looking at here. So we need everything that multiplies to give us negative 36, and we need to find the two factors that add to give us plus 5. So we have 1 and negative 36, negative 1 and 36, 2 and negative 18, negative 2, positive 18, 3 and negative 3 and negative 12, negative 3, positive 12, 4 and negative 9, negative 4, 9. Let's see if we've gotten there yet. 1 and negative 36 is negative 35. The next one's positive 35. 2 and negative 18 is negative 16, so that next one's positive 16. 3 and negative 12 is negative 9. Flip the signs, we get positive 9. 4 and negative 9 is negative 5. But negative 4 and positive 9 is plus 5. So these are the ones we want. Bear in mind, we still didn't get all the factors, but that's okay. We found the two numbers we need. So we're going to bust the b. So we have x to the 4th minus 4x squared plus 9x squared minus 36. So we group the first two and we group the second two terms. And now we take out a GCF from each. So x to the 4th minus 4x squared, we can take an x squared out of. That gives us x squared minus 4. 9x squared minus 36, we can take a 9 out of, which gives us an x squared minus 4. Now that we have two x squared minus 4s, we can factor them out. So x squared minus 4 times x squared plus 9. Are we done? Well, let's see. We have an x squared minus 4, which is the difference of squares. So that is x plus 2, x minus 2, and x squared plus 9, well, that x squared is a square, and 9 is also a square. But since they're added, we can't do anything with them. So it just stays x squared plus 9. And now we've completely factored. So that's all for section 6.5. I will see you guys in section 6.6.